What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again, this time with another action figure review, or maybe I should say an action figure slash my first role-playing set review. Yes, indeed. This is the Tesseract and Loki from the Disney Plus show by the same name. And I went on and purchased this because, and I've made no bones about it here. You guys already know what's up with me. I am a neurotic completionist. So crazy as it sounds, I got this because I wanted the Loki figure. So whereas the next person would get the Tesseract and Loki would be considered the cherry on top, it's the exact opposite for me. Hey, don't judge. It is what it is. Or go ahead and judge. I really don't care. I've got both. I don't know if I'll keep the Tesseract or not, but I do have it. I might just display it. It is kind of cool. You could do some fun things with it. I know it'll be great for taking some pictures. That's for certain. But I digress. Enough about that. This is about reviewing said Tesseract and the action figure. So, looking at the packaging, you see what it's got. You see a digital render of the Tesseract on the front. You also see a digital render of Loki down below. It over there to our left, it has some info on what the Tesseract is capable of, and there you have it, light effects, and they're in different languages there. Now, one thing I'll say about this, it's that this is the second offering of the Tesseract by Hasbro. The first was from several years ago. I'm going to get the year mixed up. I want to say 2016, and I'm probably wrong on that. But the Tesseract was once a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And as always, when they reissue, even if they don't make any detailed changes, aesthetically speaking, they'll make some changes like color apps or things of that nature. And the same thing has happened here. I don't have a previous one to compare it by, but I could tell you that they both illuminate different colors. But we'll see what this one looks like when we get it out of packaging. But before we do, we may as well do our all-around look of the packaging. Up top, we've got digital render of that both the action figure and the Tesseract itself. Then we've got the digital render of Loki on the one side there. Let me get us focused in here. There we go. That's a lot better. Then on the back, we've got the Tesseract. It's showing its size. It's 3.6 inches more, on all sides since it's square. And then you have the sketch of Loki and his accessories. Down below, you see a little sketch showing how the Tesseract is assembled. And then, of course, you've got the Loki logo there. Over here, you've got the sketch of the Tesseract in someone's hands. And just the legalese on the bottom. So now we can get said Tesseract and figure out of the packaging. To show you how everything was packed inside, I'll go through that, but also within we got this little information, legalese type of folder, and we also got this, which I'm sure is instructions on how to, put together, assemble your Tesseract. So there's that there. Nothing else going on in the back. So that's what we have there. As far as our Tesseract is concerned, this slides out. So this, I'm certain, is Loki. So let's see what we got. And it is our God of Mischief. And his accessories. I'll move the packaging to the side there. And yeah, there's our Loki. I'm going to set him aside for now. We will get to him later. And of course, we've got another bag with his accessories. Wax paper bags. That's the that is the here and now. I will tell you with this new style packaging, and you may think I'm crazy for this, or you may actually agree, especially if you're a collector. But with this new style packaging, here are the effects, by the way. We'll, of course, look at those when we look at Loki. The new style packaging, one of the great things that I miss is that new plastic smell. Tell me what you guys think. Okay, so now, see, now we have to take this apart, and then that reveals the Tesseract. And I see that it's blazed with paper, so I will take care of all of that off camera. See you in a minute. So here's our Tesseract with the wax paper removed from its innards, so to speak, and this is what it looks like out of its packaging. And basically, it's just a plastic transparent housing. Remove the top there, and then you have the cube itself, and then this can come apart if I can get it to. There we go. Get that to come apart, and I'll set that like that. And you have this, we'll call it, it's plastic, but we'll call it the crystal. And it's within here. It requires 3 AAA batteries, which of course are not included. But you see right there, this is how it'll light up. I'll take this away so we can get a better view of what the inside looks like. You see all of these this rocky foundation that it has there all around. I guess that's what'll give it its luminescent look once we get the lights in there. So you see how it is. It's pretty nice, and of course it's, you know, how you see it from the outside there. Pretty cool. So what we're going to do is off camera I'm going to put in the batteries, and then we'll be back. Okay, I've installed the batteries, and it should be noted that you'll need a screwdriver. You have a one screw that holds all this together, and as I stated, it takes 3 AAA batteries, and there's where you would unscrew it and then screw it back. And then after you've done that, this module, we'll call it, has a button on top, and there it is. You see that going on right there. So then just place that in any kind of way and put your Tesseract back together. Let me make sure I'm putting it the right way back together. There we go. And then you have that back in its case there. And there it is, the Tesseract. You see it's pulsing, which is pretty cool. I've got the lights dimmed just so it can be more emphasized. So yeah, there it is. That is our Tesseract. And once again, I don't have the first one, so I couldn't tell you the differences between the colors. I think the other one was I don't know. I think the other one was bluer, or maybe this one is the bluer one. I'd have to do some research to find that out. But there it is. There's the Tesseract. So next up, we've got Loki, and he's on our rotating platter, giving you a 360-degree visual of the character. First glance is, yes, this is basically a retooling of the previous Loki that we've gotten. Only the difference is this is the Loki we should have gotten the first time, at least in my opinion, because this is how he looked for the majority of his series. Not with the jacket on. He did show, blaze the TVA jacket, I believe, when they enlisted him to help them, the TVA I'm speaking of. But for the most part, this is how he was. Portrayed throughout the series. So yeah, they've changed up. The jacket is gone, and he's got the rolled up sleeves now. He's got a harness so he can house his sword that he acquired during the show. And yeah, this is definitely, in my opinion, the better offering in terms of subjectivity. Of course, there may be people out there that prefer the jacketed look, but I think this is more in line with how we see Loki from his series. But enough about that. We're going to get him off of the stand and check him out closer. But before we do that, we'll peep the accessories that he came with, namely his sword, his aforementioned sword. You see, it's basically it's got a gold wash on it. It looks pretty good with that gold wash. I can't front. That looks very nice. And then, of course, the hilt is painted like a brownish kind of color with a gold ring, and then the very end of the handle, the hilt there, is gold. I dare say this whole sword is molded in gold, and then it got this wash, which is a very nice touch. And then, of course, the other accessory Loki comes with is this flame effect, which goes on the sword. So you can just give that look right there. So we'll see that later when we do our little pose segment with Loki. As you were no doubt able to tell, I lightened up the whole scene here for a little bit, just so we're able to see Loki a bit better. I had it as dark as I did to accentuate the Tesseract, but now it's time to get back to normal. And speaking of getting back to normal, I normally would have done this already, but I'll do it now. Please go below, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so to this channel. I'm trying to keep this moving. Okay, enough with the housekeeping. Talking about Loki, our god of mischief, who is now a TVA variant, so to speak. So, as I stated before, this is the Loki that we wanted, and at least what I wanted. Can't front, I won't speak for everybody. I'm sure that a lot of you feel the same way, but there may be a couple that feel differently, but hey, that's the way it goes. Anyway, looking at his head sculpt, I do believe that it's different from the other one, and in fact, let's bring the other one in now. Move you over a little bit, Loki, so we could see. And yep, definitely different head sculpts, and the newer one is definitely an improvement over the previous one. It's just the photoreal is a little bit more accurate to Tom Hiddleston on all angles. The hair is different. You see that on our TVA jacketed version. His hair is semi, if you can see that. I know I got it dark, kind of windswept back there. Whereas our Tesseract Loki, you see how his hair is. So a bit different. And as the most obvious differences are the arms. Our Disney Plus Loki has the jacketed style arms because he is blazing the jacket, whereas our new guy has got rolled up sleeves for his arms. And The ties are the same color, the base color, but the striping is different, as you can see. And the shirt colors are different. Our Disney Plus Wave Loki has kind of like a grayish blue shirt, whereas our Tesseract Loki has basically a kind of a dull pearl white shirt, so to speak. Going down, looking at the belt, lower torso, our Disney Plus Loki, our jacketed Loki, we'll call him. You can see the differences in the buckles, the different paints there, and also the belts themselves. Disney Plus jacketed Loki has got a black belt, whereas our Tesseract Loki, his belt is brown. And then, of course, the legs themselves are different colors. There's a lighter brown, a more caramel brown on our Tesseract version of Loki as opposed to our jacketed Loki. And then the shoes are different. Jacketed Loki's blazing black, whereas Tesseract Loki, you see he's got the smooth brown joints going. So yeah, he picked up some tips on how to dress in between iterations of himself. So that's our differences between our Loki. So let me get our Disney Plus Loki out of there. And now what we'll do is we'll check out the articulation. Loki's head is positioned on a ball hinge, so he can look down that far because of his hair back there, and the collar looking up is not an option. Get you the slightest bit of attitude, and he can 360 it. As far as his arms, his shoulders, he can do way more than 90. He can 360. And then here's something that's different. He's got a bicep swivel, so that swivels. Single jointed elbow, that also swivels. So that's crazy. But I guess it's pretty cool. It was necessary so you can maintain this rolled up sleeve look, and it still looks seamless. He's got the rotating wrist hinge and wrist swivel, and it hinges horizontally on that left hand. On the right, his hand hinges vertically, dice roll style, and it is a C grip, so he can hold that sword that we just got through saying. As far as diaphragm, he's got an ab crunch that had to work it, but he can go forward that far. He can go back that far. He can rotate 360 if you wanted him to. He can get his hips this far apart. He can lift his leg up almost 90. Get it back just a little bit. He's got the thigh cut. This is an older buck, just retooled from the previous version of Loki, so he does have pinned knees, double jointed. He can point his toe that far forward, not so much going up. He does have ankle pivot, and he does have holes, peg holes at the top of his feet, or the toes at the bottom of his feet. If you want to store Loki's sword, he's got his harness and an opening back there for that. And it bears mentioning that they actually they've got some paint here at the back of the harness. Let me move Loki's head. It almost looks like I snapped his neck, but that way you could see it. He's got paint at the tops of the harness and right there where the straps go into the buckles. So that's pretty nice. I tell you, when it comes to the movie and TV figures, Hasbro is down with it, but the comic-based figures don't seem to get the same love. So there you have it. Here's Loki with his sword and the flame effect. So that's like I said, this is the Loki we should have gotten in the first place, but they probably already knew they was going to play this game with us, and Hasbro is notorious for giving us characters that we'll ask for, but in a way that we didn't. So that way we'll get those characters to serve as quote-unquote placeholders until we get what we truly want. So we're more or less compelled to double dip. Well played, Hasbro. Well played. Here he is, same pose, just a little bit closer up so you can see him a bit better. Now for some comparisons, we've got our Loki next to, on our left, we've got Mobius of the TVA, and on our right we have Sylvie, a female variant of Loki. So, to sum it all up, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Roleplay Tesseract, along with Loki figure of the same name as the show, is, well, it is what it is. If you're into role-playing and, you know, you missed out on getting the Tesseract, because I know a lot of people did, because previously it was an SDCC exclusive, so many missed out on it. I was there, but I had no interest, so I never purchased one. And yeah, so if you want one, you can get it now because it's available to the public for any to get. There are differences. One is lighter than the other. I could not tell you which one is which. If this one is lighter or the other one is wider, I could not tell you. I think the other one is wider. But I can't attest to it. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I have no real interest in the role-playing stuff. I admit I'll have some fun with this. You know, it's a nice prop for taking photos and things of that nature. I don't know if I'll keep mine, or if I do, will I just put it away, or will I find a place, dust off a spot on the shelf to put it? But first world problems. As far as Loki is concerned, this is the Loki that we wanted to have before. No jacket, sleeves rolled up, he's got his sword, and yeah, this is how we wanted him for our MCU Disney Plus Loki shelf, to put him along with Sylvie and Mobius, and we finally got him. So it's pretty good with the rolled up sleeves, and that sword and the shading on it is bananas. So yeah, that'll do it. Please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments below. What do you think about the Tesseract? Did you miss out? Do you still want one? Are you going to get this one? Or you know, man, are you going to be like me and you're going to get it because you want to have that Loki figure? Decisions. But hey, leave your decision down in the comments below, along with critiques, questions, concerns, what have you. If you want to be notified the next time I upload a video, hit that bell, and notified you shall be on behalf of Loki and his Tesseract love. I am the Ruckus, leaving you with this. Remember, the hunt continues, and I'm out. Peace.